Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Countdown Show. I am super excited, but also not really excited to welcome you to today's episode of the show. This is a show where I give you the breakdown of what is happening in Nigeria, the top news. And for the past 1 week, a particular news has been trending, and it is justice for Mohbad. I'm going to be discussing the details and things surrounding Mohbad's death and the controversies with my colleague and my friend, Mr. Austin. Mr. Austin, welcome to the show.
Always glad to
welcome
be here.
To the Countdown, really.
It's a privilege.
I'm surprised you're smiling because lots of Nigerians are not smiling. Really, there has been an issue surrounding Mohbad's death. Have you been following up with the story? What are you thinking about this story?
Well, it's very unfortunate. Mohbad's death is one that is heart-touching. The controversies, the issues surrounding it is one that it is a young man, 27 years old, at almost a peak of his career, making waves, and here it is dead. It's not a good story, considering the issue surrounding the story is not a bad one. So, of course, I'm not happy.
It's not just that Nigerians are not happy. One of the things that brought out this is the fact that during his time on earth, there were times he raised up concerns that a particular label is after his life, after he pulled out from this label. And I'm just wondering, was it that nobody noticed it, or like if people saw it, but I think they didn't really take it serious about that particular issue, really?
I think so. For me, we've seen issues like this in the past. We've seen justices. Now, if you go on social media, everybody's saying justice for mobile, justice for this and that. We need, This is not the first time that issues like this are happening, all right? But I think the trend in Nigeria is that most time it goes on what I would call a euphoria, and then within a short period of time, it ends. Out. You understand? Mohbad case didn't really start today. He has posted a lot of stuff on social media. He has said before that a particular record label that he was in before, in fact, I think there's a video where he even said, if I die today, hold that hold so Naira Marley, he mentioned his name, and the Malian record, hold them responsible. And then so you wonder why there was no action taken. So I think the problem again is we live in the days of social media. Everything accrues, So people just go, So
maybe thinking he's actually catching cruise.
So I'm wondering why such a case was not really followed. This is case linking to death. If I die, I mean, it's a very critical one. And then, but here it is, he's dead.
But the alarming thing is that people will say speak out. When you speak out, you be soft. He actually wrote petition to the police. You understand? And the police is claiming that, he's saying that they invited him and he didn't come in. You understand? But when such occurrence happened, didn't you think the police should have investigated, started doing their underlying investigation before his death? Like, it's something that I feel like it wasn't really we didn't really take it seriously the way we should have. Is it that Nigerians' life don't matter or what? Because this also happened during the NSAS time. Now, it's justice for Mohbad. It was NSAS, and it was as if that wave could not come to an end. Do you think there's going to be justice that will give justice to what they are fighting for right now, to put him Naira Marley, if he's the one that really killed him, to book? Do you think that Mohbad will actually find justice over his death?
So yes, if the right thing is done, actually justice could be found. But I would still want to say that let's come away from this always talking and not taking action, because that's been the trend in Nigeria. Yes. Things that is, we've seen a lot of hashtag and justices for this and that, and at the end of it is nothing. So it is time for we as a nation to put human life at its peak. Human life matter. It's time for we as a nation to begin to become more intentional about. It is not just going on emotional euphoria and at the end, let's be intentional. Because if you look, yes, we know that some of these things happen in other climes, and then you don't really get that 100% justice that such a person deserves, but it is not enough to make steps. What we need is for us to begin to implement these kind of cases. And like some persons have said, a lot of names have been mentioned. Naira Marley name has been mentioned.
Sam Larry.
I'm also Sam Larry and other. In fact, the record label, in general. We're also hearing cases where NDLEA, cases of drug, it was apprehended. Even though I learned that NDLEA came up to say that they debunked the news. But I mean, these are things that call for concern. So these people should be brought to book. I was reading a comment where someone was saying that NDLA come out and speak. We don't take us for granted. He said, "Na small, na so NSAS they start." You understand? So people are really boiling.
Yeah.
So it's time for us not to just take things like this lightly. We just shout and talk, and then our leaders, people who are supposed to be implementers of law, are just there looking at it. I mean, they should speak up.
Really, it's actually very, very important that this wave is coming. But in as much as we don't know how it's going to end, but a video surfaced this morning where the CP of police invited the father of
That's Houdin.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking the father, why did he rush to go and bury this man?
I mean,
as fast, he said he died, and less than 24 hours he was already buried. And a lot of conversations say, why is this man? Because why would you go and bury your son, who is a very popular person at such, like, it was
so these are things that people are really questioning. Why the quick, why the rush? Because in the fact that there were controversies around his death, there were issues of threat. This person wanted to kill me, a lot of things are on the ground. So why, even though we understand that, like they will tell in the Yoruba culture, if somebody of a very young age like that dies, it is a sad news for them. So they don't even want to sit and ponder, so they quickly rush to bury. But my own issue is there are controversies around this person's death. Why they rush?
Yeah.
Considering the fact there was no autopsy, and even if it's a day that was given,
if it was a whole day or 2 days, give the mother, as in the wife, time. Give other artists time to, because people who are saying he's there, they think he's getting buried. So
in fact, I read a comment where somebody said, you can imagine life, or just live your life, because even none of the artists were there present in the this thing. Yeah. So I think Mohbad deserves some level of respect. I don't know why the dad quickly rushed to bury his child, but I think there should have been some sort of adequate preparation.
I'm not sure that the dad buried the son. Did you see the state at which he was buried?
I mean, it's so appalling. It's so appalling.
When I saw it, my heart actually broke. But one of the things I'm driving now is this: men in this society where we are in now, men, when they raise their voice, when a man says, "I'm being abused in my home," people actually mock and say, "Okay, it's not possible, you're a weak man." You understand? So why is it that men, when they raised up their voice and say, "This is happening to me," I'm thinking that if it's a woman that said what Mohbad said, if I die, I think some human rights activists will take it upon us and say, "Who is because she's a woman." You understand? So why is it that some men are taking for granted?
See, Ola, let's be candid with ourselves as a nation. There are a lot of mistakes in that. We're not really getting it right. Okay, some years ago, we saw the issue of this lady who sings, this Ekweme lady.
Yes.
She was beaten to death, domestic violence and all of that. What happened? A lot of hashtag justice for that. And it fizzled out, and after that case, we saw that case came on board. People did not learn their lesson. The government weren't proactive about the whole issue. I mean, agencies that should be very proactive about these issues, they didn't do that.
Yeah.
So it is not about justice for it's about we being pragmatic about this issue. If there's anybody that's found culprit, it should be brought to book.
I think it's even the length of the
it should be brought to book. And so the thing is, right, some people have cried out. Mohbad cried out now. He was in the hospital. He went for CT scan. He did some X-ray on his heart and all of that. He posted a video. But everything now cruise. So it is ironical that you are in the world, people don't get to celebrate you. It is when you die. That's when everybody claims feels, and I think I found that very hypocritical.
Wow.
That's what I found out.
Did you find
because it is not just for the men, even for the women. People have died like that now. Let's even bring it out to the family level. You understand? Sometimes you are feeling headache or you're feeling the particular way in your body, and then you are like, I'm feeling this way, I'm not really feeling too well. Except for few families who are very rich and all of that, people take it so casual, But at the end of the day, when it is when maybe you fall down or something is happening, that's we need to take it down. But it's not nice.
Okay, Sam Larry is saying that he didn't, what's it called? He didn't really abuse this guy, but you could see videos of some of these some videos where he was carrying cane and cutlass to hit to come and disrupt his recording, and he even put it out there. Is it not enough for police to go and arrest him for doing that?
If you want to be sincere, the names that were mentioned in this case, they should be brought to book.
Yeah,
they should come and answer questions. You understand? And we don't want to be hearing issues like this one bribe this one, because there's this sort of, in Nigeria, it's very funny that we live in a country where if you don't get money, if you don't get person, you understand, your own case is like a dead case.
Yeah.
Do you understand? We don't want to be here. And Mohbad's dad should really be in the front of this. His wife, his dad. If I was someone that they should be brought, all of them should come and answer questions. The wife, the dad, and people surrounding his NDLEA should also come up and speak.
Yeah, because when he was, there's a video of Mohbad saying that since he visited the NDLEA that he
gave me a substance or something. Yeah.
And they came to debunk it and say, but why would somebody be on that?
No, it's not about being debunked. They should come and answer questions. Let appropriate body be put to that. Kudos to CP Udein, who has said they're going to take up this case, and not just in the central, but in Lagos. You understand? So they should take up the case, and please, let's get something very tangible. It's not as usual. NSTAR started, it went like that. This is not under call for a protest, but Nigerian life matters.
Before we actually end, one of the things that is striking me is the quest for money in this generation. Because I feel like if proper investigation was done before Mohbad signed this record label, this would have been prevented. So what do you have to say to our young people who are artists, who are looking for fame, who are looking for money in this generation, and they are putting their hands in places that or associations that they shouldn't have even verged on in the first place?
So K Solo said something, right, in one of his interviews. He said most of these record labels are fraternities.
Wow.
I'm quoting him.
Yeah.
But if you look at what is happening, it's true. And like you said, the quest for money. So some of these young artists, they're coming from the street. They're coming, real street, no money. And then somebody like Naira Marley or Davido or whoever is coming to sign them up. So the euphoria, identification with this person. So they don't get. So even in the agreement, the terms and conditions, they don't get to read some clauses that are in there.
So they should actually, when you're reading this thing, you should go with a lawyer to understand.
Go with a lawyer, understand some of the clauses, but you don't get to read them. And there was a movie I watched, Industry. It gets to give you what happens in the entertainment industry, because some of them are carried away. Is it not when Kiss Daniel came on board that we got to discover that he was earning about 30 or 50,000 naira?
Oh, wow.
You can imagine.
With all the gold chains and.
You understand? So I think Mohbad's case should serve as a lesson for guys. I just want to make it. I want to go. It's not all rosy out there. It's not all rosy. And I think we should also have a body that will checkmate some of these record labels. They should checkmate them. You don't treat people like that. If you're signing in fact, some of the contracts should be vetted. If you're signing the contract, let's know the time. You don't bring a contract that looks, so rosy, and down there, there are a lot of shenanigans out there. So young coming artists who want to identify themselves with big record label should be careful.
Don't be in a hurry.
Don't be in a hurry. There's no hurry in life. You've seen the case of Mohbad. It is what it is.
Yeah,
and a lot of them are out there suffering. Like Kesolo said, some of them are fraternities. They put you into conditions that you can't even pull out.
Yeah.
You want to pull out, it becomes a problem. Why? If I want to, if you have said you have decided to help me, I say I don't want the help again. So, why is there a problem there? So I think these are things that we should be looking out for, but there should be agencies that should check some of these record levels and all of that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Austin, for coming. It's been an intense conversation here, and it is the Countdown Show. In as much as lots of things are happening in Nigeria and we are not happy, but we are praying that Mohbad gets justice, and not just because Mohbad died he should get justice, but because of people who are already in the record level that need this justice, that needs this kind of protection. Please, the police should get this in hand, and I will see you next week. My name is Olachi. Please follow us on all our social media platforms, like, subscribe, and we'll see you some other time. Bye.